This is the danger zone, Len.
Its useful lifespan is done. It's used up.
I just figure it's better to get rid of the whole works and put new stuff down.
Not gonna happen.
Welcome to your new old deck. Wow. And that is how we live the cottage dream.
Yeah, right on.
I'm Colin Hunter. I'm a contractor who's fixing up cottage country one deck, dock, and gazebo at a time. My job is to get the build done on time so people can kick back and have fun at their cottage. Every cottage comes with a long to-do list of unfinished projects, jobs that were started and never completed. Today I'm tackling one that's been on the list for 30 years.
Len, how you doing?
Hey, guy.
Good to see you.
Yeah, good to see you again.
Len's parents bought this piece of land when he was a teenager. He and his dad built the cottage together.
The cottage was started in 1968. It's been an ongoing project all the time. It's never really been finished.
The cottage was built in the 60s, and the deck, the part that's never been completed, was added in the 1980s.
There's a set of steps over here that were never built, which I'd like to get done. I designed it to have steps that go down onto that landing down there.
There's some boulders there, so we'll have to figure out how it'll actually go. It's always, the trick is to figure out how to make it look as nice as you can without having too high of a drop anywhere. But
Yeah, that's true.
this will make it a lot easier for when you want to get a drink or something up at the cottage.
Oh, sure, if you want to come up and down, instead of going all the way around to that deck or
Yeah.
going up to that side, you just come up through here.
The steps will allow direct access from the waterfront up to the deck that circles the cottage. But there's no point in adding steps to a deck that's falling apart.
This 1x6 stuff just isn't as strong as the 5/4 that they're using now. And in some few places they have actually given way.
This is the danger zone, Len.
Yeah, right here, well, you can see these boards don't look too good. There was, somebody went through here
It looks like somebody could go through right here too.
like that.
Apparently you could. Wow. The problem when you have a deck that's built with really thin boards is that there's just less give there. So if it's already got some spring to it and then there's a little bit of rod, it's just a lot easier for that to break, right?
I just figure it's better to get rid of the whole works and put new stuff down.
Len also wants a cosmetic change.
I want it all going the same direction.
Right now the deck boards on the wraparound porch run in different directions on each side of the cottage. He wants the new ones to run all the same way. Okay, so this is just going to continue on like this instead of this direction.
Yeah.
So we'll do a bit of blocking there, that's cool. This job comes with some added pressure. Right now, Len's deck is covered in fallen leaves. Pretty soon, it'll be covered in something else.
Bound to start snow flying pretty soon.
The weather's starting to turn a bit, it's starting to get colder, so we'd like to get this done before it starts really getting nasty out here. We want to get Len taken care of for sure before the snow flies. The first thing we have to do is figure out what we can save and what has to go. I'm hoping for Len that when we pull off the deck and all the joists are in good shape, we don't want to have any rot underneath, and you know, it is at that point where the decking is getting a little bit rotten. We're hoping that it hasn't conducted down into the joist. So we'll see. Just want to see the top of the joist if they're rotten. Sometimes you look from underneath the deck and the sides of the joist will be fine and so are the bottoms, but the thing is, a lot of the rot actually happens right underneath the deck board where the water kind of pools up and sits there. So we'll just pop a couple off and see if it looks all right or not. That looks good. It's nice and fresh. It's a good sign. Len will be happy. We'll try another spot. I'm gonna check the joist over near where this garden and dirt is sitting probably against the wood. If we're gonna have some rot, it's definitely gonna be in a spot like this. It's actually not that bad right here anyways. Yeah, it's actually looking pretty good. By the looks of things, it doesn't look like the joists are going to be a major concern. A few might be bad, we'll change whatever needs to be changed, but for the most part, this is we're replacing decking. Here's what we're going to do. First, we'll strip off the old decking and cover the joists with a protective layer to keep water from pooling on top of them. Then, we'll redeck it with new, thicker boards. For the stairs, we'll use big platforms that follow the slope of the hill and add a handrail, just the way Len planned it out all those years ago. Removing deck boards is hard work, not smart work. If a deck was put together with screws, you can use a power drill to remove all the boards. But this one was built with nails, so the only thing that really works is a crowbar and some muscle. I'm really surprised to see when we're peeling off these boards how good it is underneath actually. Especially over here by the garden. We figured this would be all rotten, but it's actually not. Good news, Len.
I'll have to compliment the guys that built this thing in the first place 30 years ago.
Our next challenge is how are we going to get these stairs down the sloping rock? Every time you need to go and attach something to bedrock, you really have to make sure it is in fact bedrock and that it's where you think it is. So because of all the bushes, it's going to be really tricky to figure out how we're going to lay this thing out. Len has been cottaging on this lake since before I was born. The view is just as pretty today as it was the day his parents bought this piece of land. The problem is, the deck he enjoys the view from is falling apart.
These decks were built in 1982, so a little over 30 years.
The first thing we did was check out the condition of the joists.
That looks good.
What we found was good news.
Nice and fresh.
Yeah, he says all the undercarriage is in good shape, so you don't have to replace anything there, which is good news.
If it's built right and protected, the frame should last at least twice as long as the boards on top. So every deck you build is really a 2-for-1. We're going to take an extra step to make sure that those joists stay good for a long time, and we're going to put some new decking on and it'll be just like it was 30 years ago. So one of the things that Len wanted as a change when we were replacing the decking is he wanted the decking to go this way. Before the decking went alongside of the cottage, but it goes that way on that end of the cottage and this way on this end of the cottage. So he's like, do you mind just putting some blocking in and doing this? Blocking is contractor talk for those small pieces of wood between the joists that will support the deck boards. To do it properly, we got to put hangers on all the blocking. That's going to let us line up all the nails nice and clean so they're all in a row. And yeah, it's a lot of work. So here's a tip for when you're putting hangers on. They come out of the box and they're like this. See the way they're spreading open? You want to close that, and then it's just easier to nail rather than trying to fiddle around, put it on. You got all that slack there. So if you just kind of close this so it's pinching instead of opening its arms up, take each side, just kind of clench it. See the way that's going inwards now? Now it means that I don't have to hold that on. I can just put that on, slide it up, make sure it's tight. Back in our little temporary pins there. Changing the direction of the deck board sounds like a simple thing, but it's actually added a huge amount of materials and labor to this job. I don't know if the juice is worth the squeeze, to be honest. That's for Len to decide. Next step is to break out the roofing material.
No, there's nothing wrong with Len's roof. This is ice and water shield. Normally meant for on top of your house, I'm using it on top of the joist. You know, part of learning how to be a good builder is seeing what you learn when you take something apart. Yeah, it's actually looking pretty good. A few smart grandpas back in the day, we learned lessons from them. They put even asphalt shingles, just leftover anything on top of the joist. You could flash metal over it. You could put anything. Basically, as long as you can protect that top edge of the joist where the water just sits on top of there, you're gonna have a structure that lasts a really long time. I like to use roll roofing because it's sticky, it's water resistant, and it lasts a long time.
Or cut up, or should I start?
Yeah, we got to cut some more.
It adds a couple hours of labor to the job, but what's 2 hours if it adds 30 years to the life of a deck? It's like having a house without a roof on it. How long would a house last without a roof on it? Not very long, right? Not long at all, but if you put a roof on a house, it's gonna last a heck of a long time. There's probably a lot of decksmen out there that are like, bro, you're killing it for me, man. I like replacing deck frames. With the frame all protected, it's time to start decking.
Carrying deck boards is a lot like life. It's all about balance. So we'll just set it at 2 inches off of the plywood.
Yeah, that's 2 1/16 there.
Len is planning to put siding around his cottage next spring, so we're leaving a gap between the wall and the deck.
Good?
Yep.
It looks out of place now, but when the new siding goes on, it will all fit together perfectly.
You want to come down and start nailing this one? I'll start just fitting these loosely. No, it's this one right.
Laying the deck boards parallel to the wall is easy, but on this side of the cottage, Len wants the deck boards perpendicular.
What is it, 3 feet here?
Well, from the wall, we're 44 inches.
So basically what we do is we'll do 4-foot pieces or a 16-footer divided into 4 pieces. Put our deck board against the wall, just tacked in with a couple screws. And then all we have to do is butt our boards up to it, space it, and fire away, and then we'll chalk the line and cut it off.
Then it's measure, mark, cut, and repeat.
Uh-oh. Not gonna happen.
What's the matter,
No
man?
problem.
The new deck boards are almost half an inch thicker than the old ones. And now the screen door won't open. To fix it, we have to remove the door. And Len has gone back to the city with the key.
We need a shoehorn.
Today we're finishing a deck project that's been underway for 30 years. We weatherproofed all the old joists, and we were flying along with the new deck boards when we hit a roadblock.
Uh-oh.
We're using thicker deck boards than what Len used originally. That extra ½ inch is blocking the bottom of the screen door.
Inside.
The solution is to raise the entire door frame above the new boards. But to do that, we have to open the door, and Len has the key with him in the city.
We need a shoehorn. There we go.
Okay.
Whew. That was a close one.
In order to clear the new deck boards, we need to raise the aluminum door frame.
We'll just have to rip into that board, right? Because all it means is just that little L has to go up.
Okay. I'll pop it off. I'll grab a black and we'll get at her.
What's going on up here? Wouldn't it be consistently all the way across that it's got to get raised, or no? Well, it looks like you tapered this off to nothing, right? That's
Their trim was installed
Oh, I
not
see.
straight, so I'm just going with where.
So, it is what it is.
Cottages are often very crooked. Doesn't make them bad. They're not like crooked landlords. They're much cooler than that. But we got to cut this much off of here so that we can raise that screen door up so it sits. We're only going to raise about 3/8 of an inch higher just to accommodate the slightly thicker decking. Moving that door frame costs us a lot of time. It's 5 o'clock now, and I'd love to call it a day, but we still have a lot more deck boards to cut and nail before we can pack it in. The steps Len wants to connect his deck to the waterfront will be super easy to build. The only complicated part of it is figuring out where to put them. That means before we dig any holes or cut any boards, we have to do some math. So we got a scenario here where we have sort of a deck here. You don't need to know trigonometry to plan this out. Just divide the total difference in elevation by 7.5 inches, the height of an average step. For this job, we're gonna need 14. So we're gonna have this section all just stairs, and then we're gonna have sort of just platforms like Len has on the other side, going down to this one. It looks good on paper, but we're running out of daylight. So we'll have to build these stairs tomorrow. It's a beautiful fall morning. The air is crisp and clear, but there's no time to enjoy the weather. We've been working at Len's place all week, and today is the day he comes back up to the cottage. We've been here since sunrise putting up these steps and platforms that will finish off the project, just the way Len planned it 30 years ago. Luckily for us, it was only a few inches of soil covering the bedrock on the hill. So there wasn't much digging, just lots of drilling to secure the posts. The steps went in pretty easy, but we still got a lot of little touch-ups to do. We still got to trim the edges, we got to put the handrail in, we've got to pressure wash all the wood that's adjacent to it. It's amazing how a really deep washing can make old wood look as good as new. Len's probably on his way up from the city now. He said he's going to be here by 3 o'clock, so we got about an hour to get this thing together, and that's about it. It took us a week to finish the project that Len started 30 years ago. And now it's time to see what he thinks of his deck. Len, how are you?
Hey Colin, how are you doing?
I'm good, I'm good. Welcome to your new old deck.
This is really good, eh?
Well, you know,
Really nice.
thanks, pal. It's,
Yeah, exactly what I wanted. Yeah, I got space back there for the siding to go down,
yeah.
to get that off. Yeah, it looks really great.
We also put a membrane on top of the joist to save them from rotting again, so the frame will last. And it's sturdy now. There's nobody putting their foot through here, right, Quentin?
Hey, that's good, yeah. Yeah, there was a couple of holes there, wasn't there?
Nobody going through here now.
No, for sure. Doesn't even shake.
No.
This deck down here really looks brightened up so much.
Yeah, you know, it's, I can imagine how it was in its heyday 30 years ago.
Yeah.
But there's one last, you know, we finished off your project. Let's go have a look at it.
Looks a little bigger than it did before.
Could have been the foliage overgrowth.
Right,
I don't know.
That's true.
So here are the steps. Everything is tied directly into the bedrock, just like you said. It was right below the surface. The saddle's just drilled right into the bedrock. So try them out. See how sturdy they are.
Yeah, they sure are sturdy.
So after 30 years, we finally have the direct route to the beer fridge.
Yeah, right. Yeah, this is what I had in mind. So you're coming up here, you don't have to walk all the way up those steps and then go around here to get in the front door.
When we walked in here, it was a deck that, you know, it looked like it was 30 years old, and decks generally don't look too hot when they're 30 years old.
The old stuff that was on there is, well, it was wet, it was aging and it was weathering quite a bit. It was really turning quite dark. So it wasn't very pleasant to look at. But it's all brightened up, all looks new now.
It was an opportunity to change all the decking, put a little bit of maintenance on the frame so that it'll last a lot longer.
It's kind of funny that it took 30 years to get this all done over stages over the years. Now it's all done. Now, can I get you a drink?
Nothing like a beer on a hot summer's day. Happy deck to you, Len.
Happy deck is it.
Have a beer.
Here's to it.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Oh no. We got this project done just in the nick of time. This is our last deck of the season, and the snow is about to fly. And I mean tonight. We're calling for 6 centimeters.